Hi, I'm Lisa Niven Kelly, founder of Beaducation, and today I'm going to show you how to use our new texture hammer with 9 interchangeable faces. Here's the texture hammer and the 9 interchangeable faces that come with it. I've hammered out some samples here on copper. The only one that I don't have a sample of is this side. It's just a smooth face like the face of a chasing hammer. And then this one here makes these thick lines right here. And I'm going to demo that one for you. These all correspond here. You can see the different textures that you get from each face. On this one here, I just want to point out that it makes thin, long lines, and then I shifted the hammer to get kind of a crisscross pattern. So that's a nice option there. I wanted to point out a couple things about these faces here. First of all, with this very pointed one, it makes a great little texture, but don't hit too hard, because if you're hammering into thin metal, it will not really puncture, but dent through so drastically that it might put a little dent in your bench block underneath. So when I was making these samples, I just noted I needed to kind of hit lighter with that face. This one here, I wouldn't really get excited about that inverted circle because it didn't really show up. It was really hard to get it to really impress that way into the metal. I maybe caught it almost down there, but it made a neat texture, but maybe not the one you're expecting. And then on this guy, it's the single square face. I found that the square was not completely level, so I had to tilt my hammer a little bit to get a full square impression. You can see on some of these I only caught kind of like that top third, or the top corner up there, and maybe the right side only. So this guy was okay though. He made an interesting texture here. So I just wanted to remind you to practice a bunch with these to see what the textures will look like, and maybe make a little sample board like I did here. To change the faces on these hammers, you need to unscrew here. There's a threaded collar that holds each face. And the face pops out. So here's your threaded collar. Don't lose these, because obviously you won't be able to attach the faces without it. I could swap it out for another one. Just place it into the threaded collar. Line up the threads, screw it back on, and give it a nice tight last screw there. On the few faces where there's lines like this, you might want to deliberately place the lines in a certain direction. Like if you wanted them to run horizontally, you can place it like that before you tighten the collar, or if you wanted an angle, you can place it like that before you tighten the collar. So just wanted to point that out to you. And let me show you how easy it is to texture with this hammer. So I'm going to use that face there with the thick lines. You can see there the little texture starting. Now you need to remember, it's not going to be a literal interpretation of the exact pattern on the head, especially with the more intricate ones. Each one is going to have its own personality. And on this one, if I wanted to add a little more texture, I could shift my hand. Right now I'm holding it in this direction. I could shift around to this. Or like I showed you, I could have just changed the direction of the face. So there you go. It's pretty easy to swap out those faces, and I hope you enjoy making your own texture with this hammer.